I want to give you today 5 tips, 5 ideas how to create wealth, how to build up a nice portfolio, and how to perform very well long term. What you have to do is, the first rule I would say is avoid debt, avoid credit, avoid loans, don't use your credit card, pay and consume what you can, and don't go beyond it, because that creates pressure, and I think life could be easier without that, and it doesn't help you to build up some money on the side because you have to pay the interest on it, and so the compounded interest effect works against you. So rule number 1 is avoid that. The second thing, what is very important, and most people do that wrong, is avoid to trade a lot. Like, there are a lot of studies out that show clearly that very active people, when they turn over their portfolio too often, too much, they lose money. First of all, it costs money, it costs fees, the bank charge you to trade. Secondly, you can't think that you always get the best price for your stock, because you have a bid and a ask, and somewhere in the middle both parties meet, so you lose on that. And don't think that you can control the stock exchange. The stock exchange is not predictable. You don't know what your stock will do short term. You know what it will do long term, but not tomorrow and not next week. So don't trade, avoid trading. The third thing is buy solid dividend paying stocks, rock solid stocks. You can find them in the Dow Jones 30, you find them in the S&P 500. What I mean is stocks, companies, products, multi-billion corporations, for example, whatever. You can buy an oil stock like Exxon or Chevron or whatever. You can buy a food producer like Kraft Foods, or there are so many possibilities, so many brands, and you can also get a nice dividend yield right at the moment. It's easy to find some company that pays you 3-4% every year, and that's a great income you can build, and you can have some cash out of your investment every quarter, every year, that builds up, and you can reinvest it. It's a great tool. It's a great tool also to filter stocks when you just pick dividend paying stocks. So the fourth thing is just use money you have, and money you don't need short term. It would be silly to take money you need next year or next month to buy a stock. It should be for the long run, because again, you don't know where the stock will be next month or next week, so it creates pressure and it creates unnecessary activity in your portfolio. You should save some money up. If you have it built up, you can use that to buy stocks, but I would avoid, again, to trade. Think and act long term. And the fifth thing, I think, what is very important, and not so many people talk about it, I would suggest that you buy just stocks, no options and no funds, because the thing is this: there are extra fees built in products that are created, like options or funds. They have enormous, the banks charge a lot of money, and it's a high margin product, and that's why they advertise it everywhere. So if you buy directly stocks, you avoid that. And of course there's a risk, and but there's also a risk if you buy a fund or options. And the whole strategy is think and act long term, build a nice portfolio and keep it, and actually don't touch it, and let it grow, let it develop. You will have great years, you will have bad years, but over the long run, you will see that's the only and that's the best strategy. And thanks a lot. I see you next time. Bye.